Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing the real versus fake comparison on the Beauty Killer palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So if you guys are interested in seeing my comparison, then just keep on watching. So starting off with the front of the packaging, you guys can see that there are two different shades of pink, and to me, I think the fake one is just a hint darker. Now, as far as the font and the logo, they look pretty spot on. The only thing I noticed here was that the font on the real one seems to be a little bit closer together than on the fake one. Now, looking at them on the side, you can see the difference in color a lot better. I have the real one on the left and the fake one on the right. So you guys can see that the real one is just a little bit lighter. Now moving on to the back, I can honestly say that I didn't find a huge difference here. Everything looks exactly the same. It's spelled correctly. The only thing would be here at the bottom, a very small difference in font. All of the black lettering just seems a little bit more bold and closer together on the fake one than on the real one, but very minor, not too noticeable. Now moving on to the bottom, this is probably the biggest indicator to tell them apart, and as you guys can see, there are two different serial numbers, two different colors, and two different fonts. Now moving on to the palettes, you can see again a difference in color. The real one seems to be a little bit more of a true light pink, as where the fake one looks like it has a light hint of purple. Now, when I compare it up close, you guys can see that the Jeffree Star logo is more thick and bold on the real one than on the fake one, making it look a little more spacious. And now looking at the font where it says Beauty Killer, you guys can see that the font on the real one is completely black and filled in, as where the fake one is black as well, but it seems like it has a little bit of a gap in between some of the letters, making it look white. Now looking at the side of it, you guys can see that the real one has a even and smooth, flawless finish. And if you look at the fake one, the palette's actually not even. The bottom is a little bit longer than the top part of it, and then the gold center does have a little bit of damage in certain areas, and it's also thinner than the real one. Now when I flip it to the top, I notice that the real palette is a little bit rounded on the edges, as where the fake one is completely flat. Now when I flip it one more time, you guys can see that the real palette is completely smooth and even, and the fake one does have a little bit of damage, making it look uneven. Now looking at the back of the palettes, you guys can see that there really isn't anything on either of them, but they do have a serial number on each palette. The real one reads 6F1 and the fake one reads 6C1. Alright, so now that I opened the palettes, I'm going to be showing you guys the top parts of them. The first thing that I noticed was the Jeffree Star logo on the top of the mirrors. The real one is darker and more bold. Now when I looked at the magnets, I noticed that I really couldn't see them on the real one, but when I felt it, it felt like a very small circular magnet. And on the fake one, they were very noticeable, and they're also fairly large and rectangular. Now moving on to the shadows, here are the palettes side by side, and you guys can see that the colors are pretty similar to each other, but once I swatch them, they are going to change up just a little bit. Now here is a close-up of the shadows Star Power and Expensive. Now Princess and Confession. Now Violence and Vanity. Now Rich Bitch and China White. And a huge indicator here is the misspelling on the gold shade. Instead of rich, the fake one says rice. And lastly, we have Courtney and Black Rainbow. Alright, now moving on to swatches. On each color, I have the real swatch on the right and the fake one on the left. And I found that the shadows on the real palettes are a lot more pigmented and buttery, and the fake ones were less pigmented and the formula was extremely chalky. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you guys want to see more real versus fake comparisons, then please be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!